Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to another class. Give me just a second. Let me check if the sound is okay. Let's wait. Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to another class. Okay, the sound looks good. Wait, it's okay. No survey for now. So in the 1, 2, 3 testing. Okay, it's good. So today is gonna be like a more design, software design or system design in theoretical class, but it's a very important one because I see a lot of confusion, a lot of mistake, even from big companies. I already participate in project that I have to raise the discussion because people could not see it. But let's see if I can make it clear because I realize that sometimes it's hard to people to change their mind about something that is up there for a long time, and then there is something new that should be used already. And then if you are like maybe from more experience, sometimes you are more like tied to those old things and hard to change to new things. So let's see if I can do a good job explaining you this. So what we're gonna talk today is about something like this. For example, it's very common for us to need to show more data than we can fit in a single page. For example, in this case, we do have like 52 products in our database, and there is no real estate in our screen to show all 52 records here. We could create a page that would scroll, but it's not a good thing to let the user be scrolling up and down. Depends, but I mean in this case. So if I need to go to other records, we don't have still filtering. We cannot filter by category, by product name, but SKU, maybe by price. We will add this later on. But the discussion today is the way that this is implemented here. All the data was returned in just one call. If we open the Dev tool here and we navigate to the network tab, and then I move to another component, I go to products, and then do you see we have a call that we got all the products. In this case, it's not a good idea because we got all products in our database from many companies, small, medium. It's not a big deal because maybe thousands of products. So it's not going to be like a big issue. But if you are like in a Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, or any big company, they have hundreds of thousands of products. Amazon, imagine like you do a select star from product in Amazon. It's huge. You cannot even imagine bring that in just one call. We have to use good filtering. So that is where our discussion will start. So back in the days, when we start with Windows application, even before the internet, we have systems that have local database. The database was the same machine or in the same company, the same network. So it was a high speed like thing. And that database was there just used by a few users. So the way that we're designed, let's see if I can show this here. So if we have a table, that table has 10,000 records. In our database, in the server, we have 10,000 records. This can be a huge number, but 10,000 is already good enough to show this. And we are in a page to show products. Make no sense to bring those 10,000 records to the client side. It's not a good idea ever. So the solution in that time was to do something like this. We will show all the data as pages. Is that why it's called paging or pagination. And the client side will show only X amount of records. any records. Could be 10, 100. And we add which page we want to go. Every new page, we make a request to the server, and the server will get in the database the records that will fit in that page. I could go to page 5, so it would be from record. So here will be the first 100 record, 200, 300, 400, this 500. So translating this to SQL will be a command similar to this one. We'll select our data. Of course, we may have some filter here. We could have a where clause selecting product with this part of the name, this category, this manufacturer. So we could have some filter, but we are expecting, even with this filter, we're gonna get a huge amount of data. That's why we should use this idea of paging. And then in our SQL server, in our server side, we'll say, okay, give me the first, for the next 100 records, start from this offset. So offset 0 means page 1. If the user click the page 2, I will change this from 0 to 100. So that means now we'll get from record 100 to 200. When we click the page 3, the offset will be 300. So we'll get the record from 300 to 399, and so on. If I go to the page 1000, so the offset here will be 10,000 or 10,000 or 9,900, because we'll get the last set of the data. So it's very important to understand that in this case, in that time, was not a big deal because the data was located in the same network of the client, and we didn't have like a proper server-side thing. So we as a company, we sold this software, and the client was paying for everything to run that software. So what I want you to understand here is we show in our front end the data that is part of the page that the user is visiting. But the entire data is in the back end, is in the server. So the user will tell us, oh, I want to go to this page, I want to go to this page, I want to go to this page. And then there is something here that is very interesting. So if I'm in the page 5, I will see the records from 500 to 599. That means if I click the sorting here, what happens is this sorting will change the record that I can see, because now when I put all those records based on brand or price or manufacturer, the record that will be here maybe are come from different records. So a new query has to be executed, and then we have to filter by that field and then return the data from that page offset plus any records. It's very important this be clear. Not sure if the design is showing okay here, but the idea is when I'm using the traditional paging and I do a sorting, that means that the records that I'm looking to, imagine that there are 10 records here. I can see those 10 records. When I sort by manufacturer, those 10 records will change, because now when I get the same data from the server, the same filter, sorted by this field, will not necessarily be this 10 record that I see here, or this 100 records. That is a bad experience because the user may be, oh, let me see, I see those 10 records. Let me sort them by price. But look, imagine the price here are those. But then I sort by price descending. So that means this 10 record will be like product that is very expensive, 10,000, 9,000, 8,000. And those records are gone from the UI. This is just to show an inconvenience of doing server-side paging and sorting. So right now, my goal is that you understand this. We have a solution ready that allow us to show any records and allow the user to go to pagination or paging to move to find other records. And that was nice in the past, but today, modern application, this does not have space anymore because we want to be more agile. We want to allow the user to find information as fast as possible. Make no sense today to allow the user to go to 10, 20, 50 pages to find something. If any UX engineer, if any engineer and UI expert there is defending this, they are like incompetent. Because nowadays, no one wants to go to 10 page, 50 page to see that. So if there is an application showing something like this, it's very old and no one had the courage yet to really modernize it. If there is a modernization project and the output of the new solution is exactly like this, there is a big incompetence there. They are not really modernized. They are like just building a new technology, something that is an old experience that is not acceptable anymore. Okay? So it's just to explain to you that this is how we implement it. We use this idea of limit and offset to, based on the page that the user clicked, we can get the data in the database that represent that page. Okay? So there are some limitations here. First, the user has to click to many pages. That is a waste of time. Why allow the user to go to this pane to find something when our application should already show right away, easily, maybe with some paging, but paging like maybe 3, 4, 5 pages, something that is very small. Okay? So that is a poor user experience. And there is no efficient, like there is no and there is something else as well here. There is an extra cost because now we are paying for those extra calls to go page by page to allow the user to suffer. So it's a lose-lose situation. For example, the user can, maybe the user is bored and then he's going to click page 1, page 2, page 3, page 5, page 6. Who is paying for all this? We are. Whoever is hosting this application is paying to all the thing. So, what is the modern application? We improve our filtering and our search in a way that we have to know our business and allow our UI, when the user need to find something, we should be good enough to allow the user to just a few clicks or maybe a search criteria or filter, the user can get right away what is needed for that particular user case. We should never allow the user to just go through our entire database just by clicking next, 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 next. This makes no sense at all. And the fun to see that there is some discussion this out there, and there are people still defending this because they are in the past. They don't know how modern application should work. And the requirement for user today is to find information very fast. And even with the AI time, no one wants to waste time to find information. If your application is not good and allow the user to find what is needed, you are already failing from the beginning. You already started wrong. So, what a modern application does, instead of do this paging, going through all the data, so we're not going to do server-side paging at all. What you do is we're going to allow some filters, some search, we'll query the database, and then we're going to bring the data, just one blow. We may allow the user, with that data set, do some paging, limit page, maybe 3, 4, 5 pages, even 10 pages, but all that paging and maybe filtering, extra filtering and sorting will be in the client side. We can do the search, for example, after the filter in the client side. So, for example, no one is going to go to the product list without trying to find something. Imagine Amazon, there are like millions of products. Do you think anyone in the world will open Amazon store and just look, oh, show me your products? You are looking for something. No consumer goes to 100 page to find something to buy. If you don't put good product in the first few pages, or allow the user to filter, narrow down that search until they find something that is what he's looking for, you are failing as a service provider. Okay, so that is the idea of the model application. We don't have this still here. We are bringing the entire data, so at least we are not paying the price. Look, every time we click here, there is no new, let me clean this, see, there is no new network calls at all. We only have one call, even if you, we don't add sorting yet, or filter, or search. But that is the idea. So for example, here, we gonna have to create filters that allow the user to, I want to see watermelon, I want to see fruit, I want to see data from this specific manufacturer. We'll do the search. If by any chance we get, for example, more than 100 records, we can bring this 100 record, just in case, if the user already find what he's looking for. We're gonna give a message, your filter select this number of record, 500. Please improve the filter to narrow down the data set size. Okay, because we can tell, there are 350 records in the server that matches your filtering, but we only bring 100. That means probably there is a chance that what you're looking for is not there yet. Add some more filter. For example, if you are searching by the name of the product, be more specific. Try to find maybe the price range, try to find the category, try to find something. And it's up to us to build an application in a way that allows the user to do those things. Okay? So let's do some comparison here, traditional versus modern. So this traditional came from 80s, 90s, where we have Windows application, and we have the concept of grid. A grid was a UI component that we just plug to a SQL table, a SQL query. And automatically that grid, we already manage this. This grid running this query has 5,000 records. So I'm gonna divide that 5,000 in page of 100 or page of 10 and create the UI for those any page. And allow the user to go next, next, next. So that was experience that was very common and desired like 30 years ago, 20 years ago. But the last 10 years, this is gone. No one is expecting application to work this way. So there is no real advantage in the traditional approach anymore, because user has to go to big data sets to find the data. Every filter and sort and page are performing the entire database. Can be resource intensive, you're gonna be pay extra for it. So it's a poor user experience. And then more load in more stress in your servers to allow the user maybe to doing like a deny of service attack just by click buttons. What is good in the modern approach? We have already a fixed number of records. Every company, every business case can say different, like 5, 10, 100, 1,000 for me is already out of scope. No user should be looking for 1,000 records to find something. If that is needed, maybe you'll be a report. We printed it, or you show in a proper report thing, like a PDF file, something like that. That is easier to scan or do some automation on top of it. So the UI you indicate there are more data, so have to refine the filter. All the sorting, paging, and search is applied to the data already in the customer side, client side. So there is no extra round trips. So that means we're not going to be paying extra for here. The user can be all day long clicking those pages. We see this exchange very well. And of course, it will be always faster. And we are not paying for this. The user is using his PC, HPC, or memory, or server to do this, not us. We already gave the data that should be enough for the user to accomplish his user case, what he is looking for. And so this is a summary table, and this is a conclusion. And if you go right now to LinkedIn, you will find discussions on top of this, because there is a lot of people that is still locked in the past, and maybe they are still maintaining application like this, Windows application built like 80, 90, and for them that is still the best way to do an application. But for anything new that you are trying to sell in 2025, that you want to really conquer market and your customer and be like a good UI experience, there is no space to anything like this. And the reason I brought the discussion is because in one of my recent jobs, I had to push this, get some numbers, argue with a lot of people to show this. And at the end was easy to prove, because it's kind of like when you bring some data and you have to to convince people, like everyone that was with an open mind right away got the idea. The thing that I heard is, oh, but you know, the users are used to this. There is a lot of old users. I said, yeah, but are we build an application for old user, or we are trying to conquer new market? Maybe if you show, maybe no, for sure, if you show a user, instead of go to multiple page, you can easily find or faster what you are looking for, they will go for it. And I saw a lot of kind of argument, because open a parenthesis here, when you're in a big company, there is a lot of politics going on. Sometimes a project that is supposed to be a modernization is not a real modernization, but people already has promotion, already has like career aligned with that. So if you try to show, whoa, this is not a good thing, we should be doing something else, people say, no, 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 wait, Jose. Let's see, maybe it's not, and then they try to give all kind of thing. Sometimes you have to really put yourself in line to try to do what the best for the company, not for. And sometimes the leadership is already, oh, I heard something like this. Oh, no, no, I know you are right. Let's do this way. Later on, we fix it, because the team is going to grow. And in my mind was corruption, because that should not have a space in like in a fair market. Like, you have to do what is best for your company, for your product, and for your customer, not just what is good for your career or for promotion. Doesn't matter, because you already put your objective to be, oh, I want to deliver this. And because at the end of the day, sometimes companies is spending a lot of time and money to modernize a solution, and at the end of the day, it's not a modernization, it's just changing from A to B, and the same bad thing that was in the previous one, you're gonna have it here, and sometimes even worse, because of different technology that has some other limitation. So this training is for beginners, so it's kind of like just to show that depending where you are, there is a space for those politics to play games. And then I hope you never had this experience, like, but happens. And even you being right, you showing the right thing, bringing the right data, you're gonna have trouble to convince people. And sometimes there is like a club already that is aligned with that. They say, "Oh, you're right." They try to convince you. They try to like uh, silence you, but the truth always win. Okay, um, and sooner or later that will come up. So yeah, that was the idea, and that I want to plant a seed for this design approach, and everything we're gonna be built from now on will be focused on this modern approach. We don't want an application that is following an approach of 30, 20 years ago. Cool? And I hope you could understand why I was building that way, maybe because maybe it was a good idea in the past, but today is not. Okay, so yeah, that was the goal for the today class, because the next class we're gonna start to build the sorting, the filtering, the search as well. And I want you already know up front why we are doing that way. Cool? Well, thank you. I hope you like this class and you got the idea. God bless you. See you next class. Oh, is here.